Hey, so I'm hoping this will help you, and I'm hoping this is kind of what you're looking for. So this is Autodesk Sketchbook Pro on my tablet, or on my iPad actually. I usually do Sketchbook Pro on my Surface Pro. I find the format works better there, but you can do it on the tablet just fine. So I think what you were looking for is the color drop tool, or maybe the selection tool. So I already did some line art here, as you can see. I did this is a drawing I made a few weeks ago. So basically, anytime you do color dropping, you have to have your lines completely closed. So if I draw something over here, say, if I draw a circle, right? As long as that line is completely closed, I can use my color drop tool here, and I can drop color into it. If this line is not completely closed, as you can see here, there's an opening. So if I drop color here, it's going to completely fill anything that is not filled in. Okay? So, and since that filled that in, I just pulled these lines in, so they're not, looks like they're not actually completely set. So you toggle through, so if you want to fill stuff, you can toggle up to this little paint can decal is going to be your fill button. And there's 3 different types of fills. There's your solid fill, your gradient fill, and your center gradient fill. So real quick, let's explore those. So I've got a couple layers here, so that I can have my line art on a separate layer if I want. So if I want to go in, and if you want to change color, go here, click on that, and that'll give you your color wheel. You can also go to like your Cricut colors and go through and select those colors. I'm not really picking anything in particular. Whoops, pushed the wrong button. There we go. Okay, so the main thing is you have to select inside the lines of where you want to fill, and you have to have that paint can decal selected. If you push on one of your brushes over here, it's going to deselect that paint can brush, okay? Your tolerance here, what it says here, it's on 120, that's kind of the normal setting. The tolerance is basically how much it's going to fill inside of what lines. So this line right here is a really thin line. In fact, it's got some breaks in it. So if I put the tolerance way down, it should just fill, yeah, right inside the lines there. But it also won't completely fill in all of these white spaces. So you can see, I don't know how well you can see there, but there's a little bit of white left there. So the tolerance is basically how much it'll fill inside of what. So let's do her hat real quick. So if I just want to do a regular fill, I can push that. If I want to do a gradient fill, I'm going to push on the gradient. And then when I start to fill, it's going to give me at least 3 options to start with. You can see it's all in black right now, black and white. But I can change those. I can select that, go to this. Let's see, some skin tones, and start changing it to, whoops, sorry, I'm not as familiar with this as I am with Procreate. So going back to the linear fill, selecting that and filling it this way, you can move these around. Selecting that will change what colors are on there. So you can change those to, you know, skin tones, or you can make it bright red, you can do whatever you want in there. So then just clicking out of that. So you can move that so that it's a gradient fill, so that it'll change and have a higher or lower gradient there. I usually just do, for like inside fills like this of a face or something, I usually just do, try to back out of this. There we go. The solid fill, I'll pick my skin tone, whatever skin tone I want to use, push that, and then usually what I do is a clipping mask of sorts over that. So in this one, I would go through, I'd go to the selection tool, I would magic wand it, select that, go up to another layer, and then you can use something like this kind of brush, an airbrush, find a nice blush kind of tone, you know, fiddle around with the sizes on it, and then as long as you're in this other layer, you can go through and start drawing on some of that blush. I don't know how well you can see that in this. So I can go through and fill, go back to my other layer, deselect, and then go in and start filling in all these different parts that I want to fill. So I just select whatever color I want. If I want her skirt to be kind of this bluish color, go up to my paint can and solid fill it. If I want her dress to be maybe brown, go in here, and as long as these lines are closed, you're going to be able to just drop the color right into it. You can go back and this is this eyedropper. I don't know if this is what you were looking for, but this eyedropper is going to select the color for you. So if I can't remember what I used for that skin tone and I want to come up here and pick that skin tone, I can use that eyedropper and drop in all those skin tones there. Zoom in a little bit. And then a lot of times you've got to go back over it with a brush and make sure that you've got all those little pieces filled in completely. And then again, if I want to select just the hands maybe, I can come in and select, I don't know how to select multiple. There we go, select multiple, so that I can put a little bit of blush maybe on the hands. Go up here, go back to my blush, go back to my airbrush, and then it'll only put that on the hands, or whatever I've selected. Deselect, and go back to my fill layer. You can see I've got a little bit of blush there on the hands, just a little bit to make them a little bit more colorful. So I can keep going. If I've forgotten what color, I can go back, color, toggle that in. You can also go down here and it's got the little eyedropper, and just whatever you zoom it over, it's going to pick up that color and let you draw with that color. So then oops. Sorry, again, I'm more familiar with Procreate on this tablet. I use Sketchbook Pro on my Surface Pro, so I'm not usually doing it in tablet format. But you can use the brown, go in, change it up a little bit, fill it in manually that way, and yeah, you can just have a ton of fun kind of playing around, moving around the colors and stuff on here. And I don't know if you recognize this character. This is a Anne of Green Gables fictional book character that I drew a while back. On Procreate, whoops. There we go. So in the book, she has bright red hair, so that's what I usually give her. And she's got kind of stormy gray eyes. And then if you want, you can go into your color wheel, kind of change that. Oops. It's very touchy. There we go. So yeah, that's kind of your color drop tool, again, with your gradient and center gradient. And then your eyedrop tool, which is here, and you can use to pick up whatever colors you want. You can see it coming up on that wheel when it turns brown or red, whatever colors you want it to pick up, it's going to pick up. Or you can go over here, go back to your Copic colors if you want, if you know which one of those. When I'm using the same colors over and over again, I write down, it has these little numbers on them, I write down what numbers I'm using. Or you can go back to your eyedrop tool and drop the color in that way. So I hope this helped. I don't know if this is what you're looking for.